It's like if somebody hit me with a right cross and staggered me. And I don't even know how I kept standing up, to be honest with you.
Never changed the diaper?
No, and we're in the middle of this thing, and I just remember Kenny saying, see, look, my baby's happy. And Charles picks his baby up, half the diaper's on, half's off, there's baby powder.
Mine happened too.
Oh, it is. You're happy and nasty.
People are looking to be entertained, not bored, not hit over the head by a lot of stats. That's not great TV.
How often do you show up to work to do a basketball show, and the thing that everybody the next day is going to be talking about is, did you see the diaper changing contest on Inside the NBA?
What you said has made news, being controversial, so to speak. If a famous person says something, they call it controversial. But if regular Billy Bob on the street says something, it's like, well, that's his opinion.
Right.
But, you know, I don't look at myself as controversial or outspoken. If they don't want my opinion, they shouldn't ask me questions.
My mom, she didn't really care about the game. She would call me and I'd be at a game myself and she'd say, what time do Charles and Kenny come on? That's what it was at the time. Sorry, Ernie, Shaq wasn't there yet. And I would say, Mom, you gotta watch the game. And she'd say, I'm not watching the Clippers and the Kings. What time do Charles and Kenny come on? And I'd say, well, they're on at the end of the game. That's like, 4 hours from now, you gotta stay awake. Call me when Charles and Kenny come on. I would have to call her and say, wake up, your boy's on. And it just thrilled her. And she'd call me the next morning. You know what Charles said? This went on until she was 93 years old.
In the history of the business, there's 3 people who you watch regardless what the score is, because you have no idea what they're going to do. The first one was Howard Cosell.
Glad to have you aboard for NFL Monday Night Football.
The second one was the first 25 years of John Madden.
He makes a little basketball twist there and pivot, and boom, the ball's there.
And Chuck now.
We're living in the present, brother. We're not living in the future.
Longevity.
That's why they call it a gift.
Longevity.
That's what makes Chuck Chuck, is his unparalleled honesty and his likability.
People listen to him, even when he says things that are offensive. He's probably the only guy in the world that can get away with saying some of the things that he says.
Everybody says be yourself on these things, but a lot of people don't listen because they don't know who they are. He knows who he is, and he's not afraid to express it.
They go to Portland now with the Blazers down 2-zip, and
I don't think Charles changed anything with sports TV because there's nobody else like him. Nobody else can get away with that. He's almost built up house credits.
You know the last time the Wizards or Washington won a playoff game? 1988.
Well, that's only because they suck.
I think before Charles Barkley came along as a TV personality, you always had athletes who were sitting in that chair, but those guys always came on, and I think were put in this small little box where it was, be the voice of the retired pro athlete. Charles was never going to be contained by that box, or any box.
LeBron James should make it, and then Carmelo should make it as a sub on the other side.
And so Vince Carter...
Carmelo ain't making it as no sub, Ernie Johnson.
So Vince Carter
got the record.
Can I say it?
He would have been a viral sensation then. We just didn't have the technology. But I used to talk about how he was kind of like our King Midas. Whatever he spoke about turned to gold.
Any big guy, if they do that to your teammates and you let them get away with it and stand on the sideline and laugh, you're a puss. And secondly, I always consider myself on a cliff on television. Because, I get caught up sometimes. I have to remember that I'm not in the locker room. And that's not easy, because I've always been in the locker room. You're a puss, seriously.
Is that with a W?
Kenny, you know I'm right.
I know you're right.
See, Ernie, you never played sports. So most of the stuff that I can come up quick with it, I could get fired or get reported to Human Resources every day. I bought this. I am saving it. I'm gonna pop the seal when the Orlando Magic win another game. They gotta win sooner or later.
I call him the Mike Tyson of the group. He's there to hit you with that one knockout blow.
I'm just telling you, I want to punch his ass in the face. I do.
If you feel that strongly about it, then punch me in my face when you see me. If you're not gonna punch me in my face when you see me, then shut up.
Charles Barkley is so unique because I think he doesn't have no filter.
DJ, man.
What he averaging, Chuck? A triple single?
9, 6, and 6. No, Barkley should stop before I go take his job, though. Well, I've done too many great things in this league and won a lot to hear some of the stuff he be saying about me, and that's where I had the issue.
He's a hell of a player. I respect him. I'm just having fun on television.
You started the beef, and I love the way you punked. I've seen triple single on my Instagram too many times. Way too many times.
Kenny and Ernie, I know, have some edit function. Charles's edit function is way down the road, and Charles has an edit function. People think he does. He does. There'll be a phone call. Hey, boy, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? And I'll say, I don't know, can you do that? Or, yeah, you should do that. And the one thing I like about Charles is he's unafraid of input. You know, most people that famous and that rich, they don't want input. They just want an amen chorus. Charles is not interested in an amen chorus.
So let me get this straight. They are discussing who's going to be the coach with DeMarcus.
You're disgusted, obviously.
There's a lot of honesty that doesn't get told in this league because somebody is a star.
If you're a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Akeem Olajuwon, or somebody like that, yeah, you deserve that type of power.
And a lot of these superstars are so coddled and are used to people telling them that they're the best thing next to Jesus. And Charles will tell them, they're probably closer to the devil.
Let me just say this either way. That's just total bullshit, man.
Oh, stop now.
All right.
Chuckster?
All right.
The biggest thing you want from an analyst is you want them to be fearless and throw caution to the wind, not be afraid to criticize who needs to be criticized.
Ernie, when a team is just embarrassing you, shooting threes when the game is way over, just trying to set a record, you have to knock the hell out of them, Ernie. Not for this game, to set the tone for the next game.
No question that players watch inside, coaches watch inside, GMs watch inside, owners watch inside. They know that this is the show about the NBA that you have to see. You can't miss it.
The one person I want to give credit for is Craig Sager.
I think Craig was the connector.
You mentioned that Charles Barkley gave you the wake-up call. What's it mean when they call you out in the studio like that?
It means you got to bring it. I mean, you know what? They call you out. They tell you got to step up. Charles, I heard your words. So I'm stepping up for you, baby. I'm stepping up for my team.
Who could forget Craig Sager? No one.
Harvest wheat, poppy seed red, flamingo pink, and now cheddar yellow. You looking good tonight, Dennis?
Well, no one said that I'm a loser.
He was a great guy, man. He made the game fun. And most of the time, people didn't realize how to take Craig Sager because he would just come up in your face. So, what do you think? What do you think? And people say, oh, get the hell away. So that was in the beginning.
Are you leading to Miami or L.A.?
Once people got used to him, got his charisma, his flair, and all of a sudden he became, TNT, pretty much.
He was one of the hardest working people that I've ever known in this business. If you see Hank Aaron setting the home run record, and there's a guy in a trench coat with like one of those old tape recorders.
He did it! Henry Aaron! Anyway, that's how you feel, Henry!
That was Craig Sager.
Craig was loved by all, particularly those who worked with him, because he did work so hard all the time.
Welcome back. Congratulations for rewriting the record book once more.
Thanks.
All right, Ernie, as we mentioned, the Bulls get their 70th win. A madhouse here, but we got our man, and they got the record. Back to you.
I came to realize one thing about Sager. He always asked the right question.
Well, how frustrating was it during the timeouts? Did Coach Jackson say, let's go to Shaq?
Very frustrating. That's why I'm walking away from you. I don't want to talk to you no more.
He helped me get out of my head and remember not to miss the moment.
Alan, can you talk to us live real quick?
Craig Sager tells the studio that, hey, I got Allen Iverson one-on-one in the locker room.
Alan, can we get you real quick? Well, we're live.
Craig is arguing with Allen Iverson, and you hear AI say, I'm taking a shower.
The big play at the end where Rob Rory got the flagrant 2 and ejected. What was your take on what happened?
I don't know. You have to ask Robert.
I can't. He's not here. Did you talk to him?
No. I'll call him and tell you what he said.
All right.
I'll call him too, Craig.
When somebody would screw up and we'd criticize them, And we don't even do that anymore.
No.
Where we'd go back and he'd be in the locker room and he'd ask the tough questions. I used to get mad at that.
Some people thought you should not be playing tonight's game because you possibly stepped off.
Charles, I heard that, Charles. I was watching last night.
It used to irritate you because I'd say, he's got to stop doing that.
We're trying to do our job. We criticize the guy. You can't ask him right after the game in the locker room. He's still sweaty and pissed off. You're like, yeah, Charles and Kenny said this. And you can see that little vein in those guys' forehead. They're like, they used to play the game. They shouldn't be doing that.
We're going to send it back to the studio where Charles Barkley guaranteed our Suns victory tonight.
Well, I know Charles is going through a tough streak on predictions, so I'm going to let it go this time.
And I would watch these two guys cringe as Sager would be doing an interview, said, well, Charles back in the studio says that if you don't rebound better, your team's got no chance. Well, you tell Charles.
Right in the middle of the game. It's in the middle of the game sometimes.
But that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I heard what Kenny and Charles said. Like, dude, you're supposed to be playing basketball.
I think the reason that Charles has, blossomed into where he is that he realized once he took that job, you can't be covering for people, couching, because you don't work for the players, you work for the fans and the viewers.
Like that time when Dwight Howard came on and it basically turned into an intervention.
How much time we got? I got a question for Dwight. Do we have time?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I wasn't even working that night.
That was so good, because I think my first question was, I've been around you a ton, and you're a nice guy.
But for some reason, people don't like him. Why do you think that about you?
I think I was very likable in Orlando, and the way that situation ended, I think people felt as though, I'm just this bad guy.
I remember thinking if I were Dwight Howard, I probably wouldn't talk to them. They'd been pretty rough on him, and I thought it was great for him to speak. I thought it was, great for them to listen to what he said and do it in a respectful manner.
The credit to him.
He answered every question.
We asked the tough question, and he went with the tough answer.
People saying I smile too much or I play too much on the floor. So when I'm not smiling and doing all that stuff, it looks like I'm not interested in the game. So it's like a thin line where I'm like, man, do I not smile or do I smile and have fun? And so that's always been a struggle for me personally.
You're starting on the back nine of your career. And I think that you're going to help a team.
He is not saying things just for the sake of saying them. You actually believe he means what he says, no matter whether you agree with it or not, whether it's outrageous or not. When you are the Michael Jordan of sports broadcasting, you have your own set of rules.
I'm not going to tell the story about PETA. That'll piss people off, won't it? Or should I? PETA had complained about the NBA using leather basketballs and wanted it to be some kind of a composite, something that's not leather. And I showed that to Chuck. And he just kind of, that's interesting, and just kind of threw it away, sat down to watch the games. And at halftime, as Kenny and Charles do, they come out at, 30 seconds before we hit the air.
We welcome you to the AT&T Halftime Report. Charles eating on the go here, apparently. Got a nice little burger you got working there.
And this is why I love the show. You don't rehearse these segments.
This is a hamburger. It is great. I saw that college basketball not going to use basketballs anymore.
Not going to use leather basketballs in the tournament. They're going to go to the synthetic basketball,
Why?
Which a lot of the conferences already use.
Don't you have something that you could give us some information about?
It's PETA, the people for the ethical treatment of animals.
I hate them.
Well,
because let me tell y'all something.
See, they want the
animals.
They want the
are
NBA.
only good to be eaten and tested. That's all animals are good for. And I just want y'all to know where I stand.
And so it's at moments like that when you feel like the pressure of 5 million sets of eyeballs watching the TV and saying, how are they going to get out of this? And so like any good host would do, I said, Kenny?
Got any thoughts on the first half of this game at all?
Well, I'm going to tell you, you know what, Charles?
We both were like, Charles, you can't be saying stuff like this no matter. You can't.
I'm just letting you know, hey, man, I'm going to eat burgers. I don't even consider a meal unless they got meat on it.
Saying something like that might have protesters outside our doors of the studio when we try to leave tonight.
And then Chuck said, we leaving at 2 a.m., ain't nobody hanging out till then, which was true.
Am I the only person liking hamburgers?
I'm the leader of the...
I see the little sign at McDonald's, billions of people can't be wrong. It said being served.
And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, so, when I get fired for being part of this show, where am I going to work?
Typically, the best shows are the ones where Charles comes in and says,
can I vent a little bit?
Why not?
And you're like, all right, I don't know where this is going, but again, 9 times out of 10, it's great TV.
You know what, I hope people know I'm just joking.
No, you ain't joking.
Yeah, I am.
Don't try to back out of it now.
No, I'm saying there's some big old women down there now. No, I'm not joking about that. I mean, Victoria is a secret down there, but San Antonio is a great city.
What do you mean it's a great city? You just killed everything about it.
I'll always defend the creativity and the autonomy of the show. You can't have moments of greatness without some things that might not be perfect.
Listen, I'm telling you the truth. I think it's a great city. I think they got the best organization in the NBA, but they do have some big old women down there. I mean, come on now.
You see what you do to him every time you go down.
I'm telling you, man. They be woofing them churros.
None of those.
You know what make me laugh so hard? Every time you talk about San Antonio.
And
Ernie hates it.
Well,
He's like, come on,
I've
Shaq.
heard it a million times, and I know we're this close to going to break, and then all I hear from out here is this. What would they say about that in San Antonio? Well, Victoria's a secret down there. Well, blah, blah, blah. Well, churros. Well,
Ernie will be like, oh, stop it, stop it, Charles. Leave him.
The proud women of San Antonio need to have a little chat with you.
Our community is becoming more active. In fact, San Antonio's obesity rate has dropped below the state average for the first time since you wore those tight shorts in the 80s.
You know, TK is the most important person on the show for me because he understands what I'm trying to do. He's had to call me, I think, 5 times, maybe 6, say, we really flirted with it last night. You got to dial it down a little bit.
So you know how we all sit in a room? So Chuck was there reading something, and TK came and said, Charles, you know, you need to apologize. You said some things. And Chuck said, okay, I will. I'll take care of it.
Listen, I'm just gonna have fun on TV. You know I'm joking. I say San Antonio got a great organization. They got the best point guard. They got the greatest power forward ever. Some of you people don't like my sense of humor. Is what I gotta say. Turn off your damn television. I'm not gonna change. If you don't like me or the show, turn it off. And they want me to apologize. That's not gonna happen.
What they
That's
want you to
not
apologize
for? Me joking about those big old women down in San Antonio.
I did have executives call, but the most important thing I said to them was, how often do you want an apology? Because we're going to be apologizing every night.
Inside has never shied away from current events and social issues.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious decision or did that just happen?
I think our willingness to talk about things other than basketball and things that are, you know, socially important. I think a lot of that stems from, you know, from Charles being on the show.
One of the reasons I came here, like, because there's certain stuff you can't say, hey, I said something, Kenny said something, Ernie said something, Charles said something, and let's keep it moving. Like, sometimes we have to have a really informed, opinionated discussion. There's been close to 10 things we had to get real serious about. And a couple times they were really uncomfortable.
There's one a year, probably.
There's one, yeah, but like they're serious.
Yeah.
The NBA is investigating racist remarks allegedly made by LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling. You can read the story over and over and you still cannot believe what you're reading.
Well, first of all, you can believe it.
because this has happened before. He settled a lawsuit that said he was discriminating against blacks and Hispanics. So this is habitual.
He has so many strong opinions on everything sports-wise and news-wise and he's never shied away from that. And so that kind of gave us a green light in that regard, too.
I didn't know a lot about Nipsey, I'm not gonna lie. But anybody who wants to make their neighborhoods better, man, I got nothing but respect for it.
We can talk about what the rest of the world is talking about without being afraid of people saying, hey, just stick to sports.
How do you explain this Donald Trump phenomenon at this point? He's seems like every time he says something, no matter how controversial, he goes up in the polls.
To lump all Hispanics together, that was insulting. Now to lump all the Muslims together, that's even more insulting.
The difference between what Inside does with regard to social issues and what any other regular sports show does with regard to social issues, there's no comparison.
Did you need Colin to do that for your awareness?
I do think that he woke up people that were not aware. I was aware.
I'm not sure about that, man, because we obviously know there's some issue going on. But the thing is, we need to keep having this conversation because it's not simple.
I'll be honest, that's an area where we had to learn, and it didn't take long. I don't know the moment, maybe a Martin Luther King Day or something, where we had to be a little bit more reverent.
Dr. King had the ability, the capacity to instill something good and decent in all of us. He inspired us to do our best, to be brave, to be courageous, and not to be afraid.
Shaq, what does it mean to you? I know we have this discussion every year, but as we remember Dr. King on this day.
Ernie, today I decided to stick with love because hate is too great a burden to bear.
You know, I know Charles got a lot of his mindset and his willingness to speak out on issues from watching Muhammad Ali grow up, and you wonder, maybe to some degree, the players in the modern NBA felt the right, their ability to be outspoken on these issues because they had seen Charles Barkley do so.
You know, you think about some of the stories that even folks like Oscar Robertson, you know, tell what they went through. You know, you think about what Jackie Robinson ended up meaning, not just to baseball, but to the entire society. I wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for him.
Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, I had a great time, man.
Thank you very much.
You. Thank you, Chuck.
You're welcome.
Look, there's a lot of nights, and basically every night, where they're silly, silly, silly. But when it's time to be serious, when it's time to dig into an issue, they always do.
We have the haves and the have-nots. And that's the biggest thing that we got to work on today, is giving poor people economic opportunity. That's the only way this thing can really change.
You might not always agree with what they had to say, but what they have to say is always well thought and comes from the heart.
In the next 10 minutes, we're talking Ferguson. Charles has had much to say on various media outlets, agreeing with the decision not to indict Officer Darren Wilson in the death of Michael Brown and referring to the looters and those who set fires in Ferguson as you put it, scumbags.
And Kenny wrote me a letter in the USA, USA Today. And
I called him, and I sent him the letter first. Yeah. And I said, I'm gonna put this in the paper, just so you know. What do you think about it?
And I said, cool, we'll discuss it on the show.
Let me say this. Maybe I shouldn't have used the term scumbags. I think it does a disservice. We got a lot of race baiters out there. And my goal in life is to, being from Alabama, to always be able to have an open and fair dialogue on race.
Chuck has positions that a lot of people in the African-American community disagree with, but he's not afraid to express them. And I think that's a good thing. I think getting stuff out is a good thing. It's never a bad thing to have an exchange.